Good morning. I am Christian Luis Mariano Javier and I am here to report the last part of traditional forms of organizational structure. Matrix structure. It is a combination of two or more types of organizational structures. The matrix structure is the structure uniting these other organizational structures to give them balance. Usually, it is a combination of functional structure and divisional structure. Well, since there are two types of structures that were combined, it has two managers, the functional manager and the project manager. What are the advantages and disadvantages of the matrix structure? Advantages. It allows sharing of highly skilled resources between functional units and projects. This structure can serve as a great blessing for employees who want to widen their experience and skills. Individuals with high expertise can divide their time among multiple projects. Communications are open, which makes knowledge move freely in the organization. This causes them to be more integrated and collaborated, thus make the organization work efficiently. Disadvantages. Conflict may arise between the two managers, especially when both have equal authority. It may lead to power struggle and quarrel over the allocation of personnel and resources. Having two or more people in managerial position may cause an organization a lot. Employees will have hard time working due to their heavy workload. International operations. Implications for organizational structure. Managers nowadays must maintain an international outlook on their firm's businesses and competitive strategies. Managers ought to ensure consistency between their strategies and the structure of their organization. Contingencies that influences the chosen structure are the types of strategy that is driving a firm's foreign operations, product diversity, and the extent to which a firm is dependent on foreign sales. Primary types of structures used to manage a firm's foreign international operations are international division, geographic area division, worldwide functional, worldwide product division, and worldwide matrix. Global startups, a recent phenomenon. A business organization that seeks to derive significant competitive advantage from the use of resources and the sale of outputs in multiple countries. It uses inputs from around the world and sell its product and services to a customer around the world. How an organization structure can influence strategy formulation. The strategy that a firm chooses dictates such structural elements as the division of tasks, the need for integration of activities, and authority relationships within the organization. However, if there is an existing structure, it can also influence the preparation of strategy. Structure should be considered before formulating a strategy, as it is expensive and difficult to change in the middle of work. Boundary-less organizational designs. As Jack Welch, a former CEO, said, boundary-less does not imply that all internal and external boundaries vanish completely, but that they become more open and permeable. There are three approaches that make boundaries more permeable for both internal and external: the barrier-free organization, the modular organization, and the virtual organization. The barrier-free organization. It enables a firm to bridge differences in culture, function, and goals to find common ground that facilitates information sharing and other cooperative behaviors. There is a structure that is commonly used in the barrier-free organization. It is called holacracy. It discards formal hierarchical structures and work toward a democratic team organizational structure. It has no formal organization structure in the traditional sense. Instead, employees self-identify into role, taking tasks in which they excel or take interest. What do you need to create a permeable internal organization? Trust and shares interest among all parts of organization must be raised. Needs to shift in the organization's philosophy from executive to organizational development and from investments in high potential individuals to leveraging the talents of all individuals. Organization needs to develop among its employee the skill level needed to work in a more democratic organization. What do you need to develop effective relationships with external constituencies? Managers must create flexible, porous organizational boundaries and establish communication flows and a mutually beneficial relationship with internal and external constituencies. What are the risks challenges, and potential of a barrier-free organization. Managers trained in rigid hierarchy may find it difficult to make the transition to the more democratic participant style that teamwork requires. What are the pros and cons of a barrier-free organization? Pros: leverages the talents of all employees, enhances cooperation, coordination, and information sharing among functions, division, and external constituencies. Enables a quicker response to market changes through a single goal focus. Can lead to coordinated win-win initiatives with key suppliers, customer, and alliance partner. Cons: difficult to overcome political and authority boundaries inside and outside the organization. Lacks strong leadership and common vision, which can lead to coordination problems. Time-consuming and difficult to manage democratic processes. Lacks high levels of trust, which can impede performance. The second type of boundary is organizational designs. The modular organization. It outsources non-vital functions, tapping into the knowledge and expertise of best-in-class suppliers, but retains strategic control. Enables a company to leverage relatively small amounts of capital and a small management team to achieve seemingly unattainable strategic objectives. 3 advantages of outsourcing non-core functions in a modular company. A firm can decrease overall costs, stimulate new product development by hiring suppliers with talent superior to that of in-house personnel, avoid idle capacity, reduce inventories, and avoid being locked into a particular technology. Number 2, a company can focus scarce resources on the areas where it holds a competitive advantage. And number 3, an organization can tap into the knowledge and expertise of its specialized supply chain partners, adding critical skills and accelerating organizational learning. Strategic risk of outsourcing. There are 3 strategic risks of outsourcing. Loss of critical skills or developing the wrong skills. Loss of cross-functional skills. Loss of control over supplier. Cross-functional skills refer to the skills acquired through interaction of individual in a various departments within a company. What are the pros and cons of a modular organization? Pros: directs a firm's managerial and technical talent to the most critical activities. Maintains full strategic control over most critical activities. Achieves best-in-class performance at each link in the values chain. Leverages core competencies by outsourcing with smaller capital commitment. Encourages information sharing and accelerates organizational learning. Cons: inhibits common vision through reliance on outsiders. Diminishes future competitive advantages if critical technologies or other competencies are outsourced. Increases the difficulty of bringing back into the firm activities that now add values due to market shifts. Leads to an erosion of cross-functional skills. Decreases operational control and potential loss of control over a supplier. That's all for my report. The last part of the boundary-less organizational design, the virtual organization, will be continued by the next reporter. Thank you for listening and watching. Stay safe and God bless.